Well, this is how you participate in a military parade for King Trump when you don't want to participate in a military parade for King Trump. Military marching precision is a fact. This is what protest looks like. Yeah, these military servicemen might not have been participating in the No Kings rally across the country, but they were definitely participating while marching in front of President Donald Trump. Low turnout for the event was also a thing. But if you know anything about being in the military, you know one of the hallmarks of their training is marching. Marching in unity and in step. And what we witnessed take place at this parade was just walking. And not only was it just walking, but their commanders, squad leaders, and no one else tried to put them in step. Let that sink in the next time you think about martial law.
Hey my people, Gracie here once again welcoming you back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you are doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. I do appreciate all of you that keep supporting. The generous souls that give me super thanks and super chats, thank you so very much. And a big shout out to my members that continuously support me through the membership program. You all are so highly appreciated. And yes, we have another interesting episode. If you see the lights blinking, I really hope it doesn't do that. I hope not, but eventually if it keeps doing that, I think I'll just turn it off until when, power is stable enough. But yeah, guys, today we have another interesting episode. Interesting analysis from vets and people that have ever served in the army, and quite a number of criticism and people that are trolling the military and are wondering if this was a silent protest by the military, the way they were marching and how literally a lot of them were not in line. The morale and the mood was really so down, and people are wondering, did our military make us proud? Because I don't think this is what was expected out of them. But clearly when you look at the parade and the lines of, the military, really you see that they are not interested. They are just disengaged, right? And it is quite sparked a lot of, reactions from different people that have a lot of things to say. And if you saw the military as well, I want you to put what you thought about it in the comment section, especially if this looked like a silent protest. They were just there to get the job done, but not because they were really in solidarity with what was happening. We're going to watch this, come back and talk about it. Do me a favor, like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and yeah.
Okay, were any of my fellow veterans out there caught off guard by just how shitty Trump's military parade looked? I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was genuinely shocked. Now, don't get me wrong, the United States Army has plenty of problems, but finding the pageantry and stagecraft necessary to pull off a tight public performance, not generally one of them. They pretty much nail that one every time. The presentation of the equipment was lackluster and uninspiring. The uniforms didn't look all that sharp. The marching was a horror story. Like, they're just walking. Nobody's in step. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I don't know, the entire thing just seemed tacky, cheap, and unprofessional to me, which is really funny when you consider the fact that they went out of their way to tell you that this was sponsored by random crypto scams.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase.
It's like a bad dream. To end on a good note, whenever I saw one of the Army marching bands, they looked pretty tight. They seemed squared away. And to end on an even better note, I love that the thing was sparsely attended. It couldn't happen to a better guy.
For those of you that's saying that the military is loyal to Donald J. Trump, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you they are not. The reason why I say this is because out of the 14 years that I served in the Army, and as an NCO myself, when the troop morale is up, you will see it in their performance. When troop morale is down, you will see it in their performance. I'm saying this because I know for a fact that the troop morale was low. I know for a fact that those service members did not put their 100% into their performance in the parade. The marching that I witnessed was appalling. And as an NCO, I would have reamed all of them. Why? Because they were out of step. And that is one thing that is drilled into you when you go through boot camp, when you go through basic training, is drill and ceremony. They drill the shit out of you until, like, if you have 2 left feet, you will not have 2 left feet by the time you're done with training. A lot of people are saying that these are paid actors. I personally don't believe that this particular group right here are paid. Why? Because if you look at their hand position, that is only acquired through training. And if he would have used civilians, they wouldn't know how to place their hands like that. When you serve under the UCMJ, when you are actively serving under the UCMJ, we are not allowed to participate in anything political. We are not allowed to participate in any type of protesting. But we have what's called silent protesting. When we don't like something, or if our morale is down, we rebel. And we call it a silent rebellion. We call it a silent protest. And this right here is a silent protest. They did not perform the way that they were supposed to perform. This is what everyone was expecting. This is what Donald J. Trump wanted to see. But what do we get instead? This is what we got instead. Look at that. Low morale. They did not want to be there. They didn't choose to be there. They did not give their 100%. Why? Because of this administration. Regime. So, ladies and gentlemen, the military had one job to do. One job to do. And they did it. They did not come through for Donald J. Trump. They did not give him what he wanted. And that was a perfect, picturesque parade. Very militaristic. They purposefully sabotaged his parade.
Chaos and maybe even a weakness.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, it's weird because we do have the most powerful military in the history of the world. And yet you see these like the Jumbotron was broken. At one point there was a guy carrying a
wannabe dictator, laughing stock of the world once again. Trolling Trump's weak military parade. The caption says this is what Trump wanted to see. But this is what he got. Exiled Russian political blogger went on to compare the marching of the American army soldiers to that of prisoners of war from World War II. Rustem Adagamov, the person who posted these on Twitter, is living in exile in the Czech Republic because he spoke out against the Russian government and Putin. Thanks to Adagamov for supporting the American people and speaking out against Trump's lame wannabe attempt at showing dictator might.
I just wanted to say how proud I am of the United States military. I am proud that they did not put on a show yesterday that made me think of North Korea or Russia or China. I am proud of the fact that they are more interested in doing their jobs and being the best military in the world than they are about putting on a parade for a corrupt president. And there's a lot of debate about how intentional their marching style was yesterday, and that's fine. I don't pretend to know what they were thinking, but whatever they were thinking, the message certainly came out that they were not doing this because they were excited to be out there putting on a show, which is more in line with the philosophy of a developing nation being ruled by a fascist dictator than the tradition of the United States of America. We have never had military-style parades like they have in fascist dictatorships. And after yesterday, I don't think we ever will. So thank you to our military. I salute you.
This is what we got instead. Look at that.
I want to add my 2 cents here from the perspective of a band kid. I was in band for 8 years, and I only marched for 5 of those years. The other 3, I was sitting on the sidelines. But if you were a band kid, you know what I'm about to say. The way you march is so drilled into your head that you can't even think about what foot you're supposed to start walking with. But whatever foot it is, I still start walking with it. I think it's the right foot. I think that's the way my band did it. But you still start walking and you walk together. My sister, who was in a different school in band, like 10 years after me, 13 years after me, actually, she and I, when we were walking through, like, for instance, the hospital hallways, you know, we started noticing that we were out of step, and one of us would do the little skip step until we were in step with the other one. And it is so ingrained in you. If you watch the video, watch their legs. The soldiers are trying so hard to fight against that that habit. They're fighting so hard to not walk in step. It's crazy. And I fucking love it. So to everybody who was out at the parades yesterday, thank you so very, very much. You guys are absolutely amazing. You are incredible people. I wish I had been able to be there. Unfortunately, there was no way that I could. I had a family event yesterday that was planned literally months ago. So there was nothing I could do about it. But you guys are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We're going to keep fighting and we're going to keep standing up together, because every single day another person realizes just how awful this is. Every day another person stands up and says, I've had enough. I've had enough. And to the Republicans that are out there right now who are so ashamed of their party for representing them this way, I am sorry that your party is representing you this way. It is despicable, it is hateful, it is grotesque, and I'm sorry you're being represented this way. I hope we can get back to either the system that we had or a new system which more openly represents who we are. Because frankly, I think a two-party system, it's just outdated. It really needs to be expanded. So, that's just my 2 cents. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
This is it. This is the big military parade that Donald Trump was bragging about. The one that cost between $25 and $45 million. The one that he said that if he saw any protests in the vicinity, that he was going to stomp them out with force. Brother, nobody came. I mean, just look at this turnout, man. Pathetic. There are football teams that haven't won a Super Bowl in over 30 years with a bigger turnout than this. There are high school graduations that have more people show up than this. All it took was 6 months for Donald Trump to remind everyone, man, maybe I really don't like that fucking guy. I mean, you can read it all over his face, man. There is not a sliver of happiness on this guy's face, and it touches me a little bit. I'm so happy that he's upset. Doesn't change anything, but I'm glad that my enemies have no joy in their heart. I know for a fact this is what Donald Trump had picture in his mind, man. He's gonna go to sleep crying to this picture, man. Now this is a military parade. Say what you will about North Korea, they got aura sometimes.
You could see the exact moment Trump realized he was cooked. It was during his own birthday parade, when he looked out at the crowd and he realized there wasn't one. This man spent $48 million of taxpayer money on what was essentially a sad cosplay of a North Korean military parade. And he still couldn't pull a crowd. We're talking empty bleachers, confused tourists, and one guy holding up a sign saying, I thought this was a car show. Meanwhile, across the country, millions of people showed up to the No Kings protests. Like, it wasn't even close. The protests had bigger turnouts, better music, and somehow more cake. The president looked like a man watching his own political funeral in real time. The smirk faded. The eyes got glassy. You could almost hear the voice in his head saying, Melania was right. And the best part, this wasn't just a bad birthday. It was a historic momentum shift. Because when millions of people take to the streets on your big day to say, nah, we're good, that's not a protest. That's a preview. And at this rate, Trump might have accidentally guaranteed a Democratic supermajority. not just in Congress, in everything. State houses, city councils, PTA meetings. He just handed the left the best voter turnout operation it's ever had by throwing himself a parade no one asked for. So let's keep it up. Ride this wave, organize, vote, stay loud, and let's make sure the only fireworks this guy sees next year are from his ankle monitor lighting up when he steps too far from Mar-a-Lago.
What if the soldiers in Trump's military parade were silently protesting? Many people noticed the soldiers didn't march in unison. They weren't in step, the lines were crooked, some looked like they didn't want to be there at all. Compare that to what we see in China or North Korea. Those parades are tight, robotic, every soldier in perfect lockstep, because in authoritarian regimes, military parades are a test of loyalty, a show of total control. But here in the US, well, the cracks showed. But what if that was the point? One former soldier put it like this. Quote, "It takes about a week of drill and basic to learn how to march. Once you do, it's ingrained in you for life. You self-correct if you fall out of step. You've got a point person calling cadence. So when the whole formation is off, this clusterfuck of a parade leaves me with only one conclusion. This was a silent protest, a foxtrot Delta Tango. This wasn't about honoring the troops. Let's be honest. This was about honoring Trump on his birthday, on the Army's anniversary, co-opted by a wannabe dictator. And maybe, just maybe, these soldiers didn't want to play along. Because in America, you can't fake loyalty. And these soldiers showed you sure as hell can't force it.
Let's look at some pictures from the 250th anniversary of the United States.
Right there is actually in response to me. He's calling me a liar and saying that Donald Trump's birthday parade was far bigger than I'm making it seem. There were thousands of people there. But what I loved about his video is that it's one big self-own. Either the photos he used are fake and not from the parade, or the photos showed how empty the parade was. I mean, this one, for example, look at all the green space right there. And if you look behind this small crowd, it's just green. This one as well. How does he not see that this doesn't look good for him? This is a tiny crowd with a lot of green behind them. This one as well. Green space everywhere. There's nobody. And this photo he used was not even from the parade. Did you just go on Google and look up crowd in Washington, D.C.? Because that photo was actually included in a Reuters article in 2021. Right there, July 29th, you can see that actually it was people gathering for fireworks on the National Mall. Oh, and this photo, don't even get me started. It's Donald Trump and President Emmanuel Macron of France. Yeah, that photo was not from the parade. Macron was not there. How did you not look this up? It was actually taken in July of 2017, not even this term of Donald Trump's presidency. Like, buddy, if you're gonna make a video calling me a liar, saying that the parade was full, at least use photos from the parade and at least make it look a little bit more full than you actually did.
These motherfuckers need drill and ceremony. Bro, that's like a hot damn mess. Left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, your left, you got it, left, your left. None of you in step, you got it, left, right, oh, left, fix your feet one more time, 2 times, 3 times, pump, 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 pump it up, none of y'all are in step. And look, goddamn mess.
I was working yesterday at the military parade, and there were a ton of embarrassing things that aren't being reported. Linda McMahon literally fell asleep during the parade and no one noticed because she can't really close her eyes all the way, and no one knew until she started snoring. Marco Rubio was definitely bored during the whole thing, but he was also incredibly concerned because he kept running around trying to find Kristi Noem, and apparently like the whole Secret Service detail was looking for her, and she had actually gotten confused with her invitation and ended up marching past the president's booth in the parade. As many of you know, there weren't that many people there, but what you don't know is that J.D. Vance was incredibly angry about it and was also very scared about what his daddy would do to him. So like all terrible fathers, he ended up just blaming it on his children, saying that the reason no one came was because they were there. I wanted to save the most embarrassing thing for last, which was Pete Hegseth's speech. Now, Pete Hegseth didn't have a speech, and do you want to know why? Because Pete Hegseth ended up participating in PT with the troops, except he got a little sidetracked on his way. He ended up stealing a kid's wiffle ball bat, cutting the bottom off, and playing Louisville Chugger, which involves pouring a beverage into the wiffle ball bat, chugging it, and then twirling around for as many seconds it takes for you to drink it. Threatening the father of the kid whose bat he stole, and telling that man that his dad could beat up that dad. It's a satire, completely made up, but honestly, none of it would surprise me, and all of these people deserve it because they're cruel, and everything they did yesterday is only indicative of how insecure they are and how little power they actually have over all of us.
I want you guys to let me know what you think, because personally, I have seen militaries marching, especially in my country. It is quite entertaining and very impressive. So that is a very, very crucial day. If there's anything to really show and exhibit on that day, is the military might, is their enthusiasm, is how passionate they are in literally performing for not him alone, but even the people. So I've quite seen a lot of it, and it was just so impressive. It was just so perfect. And it showed that they really, really loved so much what they were doing. But this one, I can't lie. They looked like they are just there to get the job done, but not simply because they were really in agreement, or they were not even like interested in impressing anybody. A lot of them were literally marching out of line, and then the way like they were marching, some of them it was left, right, others were like right, left, or something like that. It was just so crazy and very interesting to honestly see. And I must say, for the people that are making an assumption that these people probably were actually protesting in silence, because come to think about it, like seriously, it's going to be hard, especially if they are in service, to say no when they are summoned, right? Because that's literally disobedience to orders, right? So they would definitely show up. But what they do when they show up is what is going to show us whether these people are really into this or they are not into it at all. This whole thing has literally caused a lot of, commotion on the internet. People are literally mocking him and trolling him, saying this is what he expected, and are showing the militaries of other countries doing it with so much energy, with so much coordination, with so much solidarity. Yes, compared to what just happened, right? And also looking at the No King's Day protests, this is considered to be the biggest, right? And meanwhile, these people are literally faking pictures that, so many people came instead of like what they showed on his birthday. So I can completely understand, but the mockery and the trolling, putting this much money into this, oh my goodness. But yeah, a lot of the military people that were there, they were so disengaged and so uninterested. They were not bothered about impressing anybody. They were just there to get the job done. Like I said, it would be so hard for them to say no to orders. So the only thing they would do is just show up, but have zero mode, zero, be on literally zero energy. And from the look of things, it looks like even him as an individual, he wasn't impressed. He was literally looking, I don't know, was he disappointed or something? But for the people that have been in service, is this how you guys march? Even bands, even bands that are not like military, right? Because I've seen bands, they are interesting. This is like to showcase military might. This is to showcase how, how passionate you are about your country, about your president. Literally how excited you are to be serving. I'm talking about even the bands that I have seen here in Africa, right? Like, it's so entertaining, it's so inspiring to see. And let me tell you something, right? It's not just that. These marches are one of the things that literally inspire little kids to see an army officer marching, and they'll be like, "Ma, I wanna be an army man. I wanna be in military someday," and all of that. But with that energy, zero level energy, like, come on now, the energy was down. The energy was down. And more energy was into the protests, which means actually more people don't like him. And you know, even his people have now come out to start calling him out. That is something else, right? They have started coming out to actually call him out and the things that he's doing. They're like, you know, we didn't expect him to do this. We didn't vote him for this, right? So his number is literally like the numbers that have been following him. They are really growing small. And he can't help it, right? And you know, to make matters worse, he makes things even worse. Like, he escalates things for people to even hate him the more. I felt like, and it's not because he's doing the right thing either. Eh? Because, I mean, let me tell you, like, it would be okay if you're doing the right thing and people hate you, because there's scenarios like that. You're doing the right thing and then people hate you. But then he's doing the wrong things for the most part, and then he keeps doing wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, literally destroying every parts, like every person's desire to even look at him differently. Because at this point, the person they voted for and the things he said he was gonna do, from the look of things, it looks like it is the opposite of what he's doing. But yeah, what do you guys think about the army specifically? Because today I think we've been talking about that and the trolls that this man is receiving. Let me know in the comment section, and please check and see if you still subscribe to the channel. I told you guys there's something that is going on with YouTube and this channel. Ever since I released a video about the black truck drivers being cock, right? Things have not been the same on this channel. Y'all can see that sometimes I even release one of the most informative videos and YouTube don't send them anywhere. Like, so of course they are not going to tell you that they are doing this, but censorship is a thing on YouTube, and I know I am not the only person that is going through this. There's quite a number of creators that are going through this. The numbers are going down. People check to find out they've been unsubscribed from their favorite YouTubers and all of that. So it's quite a lot, but check and see if you're still subscribed to this channel. If you're not, please do me a favor and resubscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section about this very video and the military and the, you know, the wannabe dictator so bad. Yes, I think I'll see you in another amazing video from me for today. That's it. I love all of you. Stay safe out there, and bye bye.